All right, so let me do this real quick. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And also honor and salutations to those of you who are of the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word of sincerity and truth. So I wanted to talk about a comment that has been floating around. I don't know whose video the young lady commented on, but I guess in a nutshell, her comment was, "What do the women have to look forward to in the kingdom?" And it was a it was an interesting comment, to say the least. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. The fact that a woman, when questioning the kingdom of heaven, can only think about whether or not she's going to be the only woman a man has. It speaks to the lack of ability for women to be selfless, right? In the kingdom to come, right? Our kingdom, a big component to the success of our kingdom is going to be selflessness, which we're going to get into just a little while. But the one of the main components to a successful kingdom is the unity of the nation, right? And the only way that nation can achieve that unity is to have a level of selflessness for each person, right? And her question shows that she's only thinking about herself, right? Which really, there are enough women on the planet that we don't need. Or let me say it this way: the bad fish can be picked out of the net quite easily without any question of whether or not we're going to have enough food. if you understand the analogy, right? So if you think of um, the proper way of fishing, right? What you do is let me not say the proper way of fishing. One of the most effective ways of fishing, I'll say it that way. You cast out a net, right? And you, as the boat or whatever vessel you're on, excuse me, as the boat or whatever vessel you're on travels, right? You scoop up the fish and you bring them onto the boat, and you take out all of the bad fish, the lobsters, crabs, the shrimp, so forth and so on, and then you keep all the good fish, right? And there are enough fish in the sea, as the old saying goes, where we don't have to. You don't have to come if you if you don't like the how do I say this? I was gonna say prerequisites, but not prerequisites. But if you don't like what's gonna be happening in the kingdom, you don't have to come. You can die here in America or wherever it is you are. You're not necessary, right? I'll say that. But again, it takes a certain level of selflessness, and so I wanted to talk about that a little bit, right? So first and foremost, there will be no forms of this current captivity in the next kingdom, right? And what I mean by that is the way of thinking, the behavior, right? The overall mindset that we've come accustomed to here in the West is not going to be brought into the kingdom of heaven, right? Matter of fact, I don't have this written down, but when I said it, it reminded me of I think it's Job 20. Oops. Job 20. Let's see. Yeah. I'll start at 3. This is Job 20 and 3. It says, I have heard the check of my reproach, and the spirit of my understanding causeth me to answer. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite before a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, Where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Right. So this current place that we're in, this is going to be like a bad dream, man. In the kingdom of to come, there are going to be no remembrance of the ways of this kingdom. Right. We're gonna go into our new kingdom with new bodies. Right. No more vile behavior. No more vile thoughts. Right. Let's go here to Micah. This is Micah 2 and 10. It says, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. And that's happened, man. And her question was an indicator of that, right? How far gone the mentality of our people are, right? Um, there's no how do I say this? There's only in the West, right? And when I say the West, I don't mean the direction. I mean how we consider the West in modern culture, right? When they say the West, meaning you could also say the Edomite nations, or the nations that Edomites are predominantly in rule. Um, do they practice monogamy, right? And no other culture in the East is monogamy practiced, right? Or not many other, I should say, right? And so we don't even know what that looks like properly, right? What the proper picture of a man having multiple wives looks like. We don't know what that looks like. We don't know how that's going to be, but um, we know that's what the Heavenly Father has slated for the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom to come. And so we know that it's going to be in righteousness. All right. Let me go to this next one I got pulled up here. Uh, this is 2 Peter 3 and 13. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth. Oh, excuse me. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, right? So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a place that dwells righteously, right? Like I said, as of now, you got Pookie and Nuke and all them niggas in the inner city, in the hood, whatever. They all got multiple baby mothers, right? But it's in unrighteousness, right? The men are not around their fathers. They're not taking care of their wives, right? Or the women that they've had these children with, and they're not even considering these women their wives, right? So we know that when this let's say this enterprise, let's say this way of family is implemented in the kingdom to come, we know it's going to be in righteousness. We know it's going to be uh, a thing of beauty. It's going to be beautiful, right? Because you can take. I'll give you an example. Let's do it like this. 2 Peter, I think that's 2 and 5, right? Right. Okay. Let's go to 4. Um, it says, for if the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, and spared not the old world, but saved Noah the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that should live, that should after live ungodly. Right. So in the same way, we can use this place as an example, right, and say whatever is done in this captivity, right, this Edomite captivity, this Edomite rulership, we can safely say that this is an example, or let me say it this way: this is something that we can look at and say the kingdom is going to be the exact opposite of this, right? So we know now that you have men that have multiple women, right? And they sneak around and they got two phones, or they got the girl's name stored under, one of their friends' names or what have you, right? But we understand that in the kingdom, all of those things are going to be done righteously, right? So I'm going somewhere, so I'm going to keep going, right? So I didn't mean to go to it here. Let's go back to that other scripture, right? So again, 2 Peter 3:13, it says, "Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness," right? Is it? Oh, all right, let's go back. All right, so again, we're looking for a kingdom that's righteous, right? So first and foremost, to answer the question, the young lady, I don't know who she is, but to answer her question, I think the hopeless romantic was her handle on YouTube. But to answer the girl's question, we have righteousness to look forward to, right? Matter of fact, I forget where that is. Let me do it this way. Wifely duties diminish. I think it's something like that. Diminish. KJV. I think it's something like that. Is it Exodus 21? Yep. Let's go there. Exodus 21. Open up another one of these. Exodus 21. What was the verse? 10. It's Exodus 21:10. So here's the law about it, right? It's Exodus 21:10. And it says, "If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish," right? So in other words, right, if you're going to take on another woman, that the same amount of care that you've given her before you took on another woman has to be the same, right? Because if it's not, that means you can't afford to take on that wife, right? So her raiment, her duty of marriage, meaning what, right? She got to lay with you, right? So none of those things can be diminished, right? All the duties that you have as a wife have to be sustained in order for this man to take on another woman, right? And so that's what we have to look forward to in the kingdom. Her question was, how are we gonna? Or a piece of her question was, how are we gonna feel like princesses if there's other women that belong to that same man, right? And here's your answer, right? You women are not gonna be worried about who's in. Here's how I always imagine a man's let's say in as an individual, his the kingdom is for him, right? Where you've got let's say a piece of land, right? However many acres it's going to be, we don't know, right? But this man has a piece of land. He might have his own planet, right? Um, or where he has his home is the main house of the property, right? Of the estate, if you will, so you can understand, right? My grandfather used to work on the Jackie Robinson estate, so I understand this a little bit. So you got the main home, and then there's other buildings and homes that make up the estate, right? And so um, you got the man's main home, right? And then each of his women on that same property or that same land have their own homes, right? And so all the children that you've had with this woman, they're in, let's say, a castle over here, and all your children with that woman are over there. And then there's another castle in another part of the land, and that woman is in that one, dwelling in there with the children that you have with her, and so forth and so on. And this can expand out as far as, again, that man can afford, right? I believe that the Heavenly Father is going to divvy that out to a man's several ability, right? Just the way he did with the wisdom and knowledge of the truth, right? And so each women or each woman is going to have their own, right? And you're not going to be worried about what the next woman has, because you're going to have as much as you're supposed to have, right? It's not even going to be a concern, right? And this is of course from our imagination, because again, we don't know exactly how it's going to be. We don't know how exactly it's going to work, but you can deduce, right, based on what this kingdom is, right? Because you do it now. You got a you got a lady that live in this projects over here, right? And she her two kids that you got with her. They up in the project. And you got another lady across town, and she might be set up a little bit better. She got that good Section 8, so she, instead of being in the project, she might have a one family house that she is able to rent, right? So the kids you got with her over there, it's the same thing, but it's in unrighteousness, because you got to sneak around and do it that way, right? So in the kingdom to come, right, in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be done in righteousness, right? So I have a couple things written down here, right? So I spoke to, when I started, I spoke to this selflessness that's going to be necessary, right? Because um, her question shows, excuse me, excuse me, her question shows the lack of ability for a woman to be selfless, right? She can only think of herself, and her question is the proof of it. And I think when I took the brother sent me a comment last night that somebody else sent, he responded to the girl's question, and another woman wrote something in his video, something similar, basically. Just, but I say similar in that it was equally as selfish, equally as self-centered, right? They're only thinking about themselves, right? And somebody made a good point, and I'll say it here, is that here it is, right? The 144,000. Let me see. What's that scripture? Defiled with women. Yeah, Revelation 14:4, it says, "These are they which were not defiled with women," right? "For they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth," right? "These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb," right? So these are the virgins of the Lord, right? And none of us are saying, or let me say it this way, none of the men of the Lord are saying, um, I want to be special to the Lord. I want to be the the number one guy. No, right? I want to be his one and only, right? In order to feel special, right? He's got 144,000 virgins essentially that are going to be given to him, right? That are willing to worship him day and night and follow him wherever he goes, right? But you worried about being the only one. And so again, this is the point I was making about selflessness, is it takes selflessness to be able to do that. This is why scriptures say, what does it say? Mortify. That's in Romans 8. What I write? Deeds. Yep, Romans 8:13. It says, "For if ye live after the flesh, right, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live," right? And so that takes selflessness to mortify the deeds of the body, because a part of the deeds of the body is what? Pride, right? Um, Greed, right? Not just mortifying hunger and sex or what have you. So that encompasses a lot of things, man, when you mortify the deeds of the body. So these are this is the type of mindset, I should say, that is going to be needed and necessary for the kingdom to come to flourish. Matter of fact, I got some more I want to say to that. I got some other scriptures up here too. I want to read. I'm jumping ahead, but let's do this. Matthew's 19. This is Matthew's 19 and Matthew 19 and 21. Yahushua said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, right? Go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard, what is this? It's irking me. It says, but when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions, right? So this man wasn't able to be selfless, right? But the Lord told him that's what he needed to do in order to be perfect, right? So yes, there's perks to doing this work, right? and I mean, I said this last night when I was thinking about this and I was going through it in my mind, meditating on it. I said it's just like a woman, right? To just wait for the men to do the work, which is going out on the highways and byways, acknowledging our offenses, and then want to benefit in their own way when all the work is done, right? You can't complain. The Lord is not putting that the pressure of being a man of the Lord on you. So whatever you get, you gotta feel blessed in that, right? Whatever you're gonna receive in the next kingdom to come, you gotta feel that it is a gift, right? So let me go to this other one I have written down, Matthew 25. What's this one say? Matthew 25 and 37. It says, then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, oh yeah. When saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? Right? And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it to one of these least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me, right? So this is again another symbol of selflessness, right? When you take in the brethren of the Lord, right, and you take care of them, right, that's an act of selflessness, right? And that's what it's going to take in the next kingdom, right? I think that's all I had written. Let me go to a couple more of these up here that I got pulled up. This is a Philippians 3 and 18, right? It says, for many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are enemies of the cross of Mashiach, all right? Whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is their shame, who mind earthly things, right? For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, right? The Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who shall change our vile body, right? So we're gonna be changed, man. We're not this level of thinking, this low level of thinking that we have, even though the men of the Lord are trying to work through that and work out of that low level of thinking, right? Like the scriptures say, our righteousness is as filthy rags, man. We are vile in this body, but our vile bodies are gonna be changed. Let's look up that word vile. I'm not gonna play it. It looks like it says tapinosis, which is low estate, humiliation, vile, to be made lowness, low estate, metaphorically, spiritual abasement, leading one to perceive and lament his moral littleness and guilt. Right. So we're vile here, man. Right. But like the scripture says, our vile bodies are going to be changed. Right. That it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. Right. So our vile bodies, this way of thinking, this mindset that we're currently in, you're not even going to be thinking like that in the time to come. Right. Like the scriptures say, I won't go to it, but it says, they shall be willing in the day of thy power. Right. So once you see a man, because women do this now, where you got the celebrities of the world, right? Women don't realize the reason why you like those celebrities is because other women like those celebrities. If because when it's a guy that no one else likes, you don't even think about the nigga, right? So your whole way of thinking is going to be different, man, because we're going to have real power. And not just power like a celebrity, because celebrities don't have no real power. They got money, right? Which is a form of power, but it's not real power, right? We're going to have real power over the earth. You understand? We're going to be able to dictate, of course, under the order of the Lord Yahweh Shai, we're going to be able to dictate what goes on in this earth, man. On the earth, not just, you know what I'm saying, at the bank where you get a little bit of respect from the people because you got millions of dollars in there. I'm not talking about that. That's small time. Even who's this guy, Tyler Perry, right? He's a billionaire. Will Smith is a billionaire, but that's small time compared to what's going to be happening in the kingdom, man. So when matter of fact, let me go there, right? What is that? Romans 8:16 or 17. It says uh 18. Romans 8:18. It says, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us," man. So you do it now. You do it now. My oldest son's mother, when she was in we went to a Jamie Foxx concert, man. She lost her mind. I was looking at that nigga like she was crazy, man. Cause the nigga was sitting up there on the stage. So so they do it now, man. They do it now. So again, your mind is gonna be different because we're gonna have real power, man. Real power. Not just the power, of money and the power of uh, fame, right? We're gonna have real power, right? We're gonna rub elbows with the height. Just like you see, uh, you tell, and this is I don't even think they like women, but you tell the tops of the banking families that they can't have another wife. You see what happens to you. You end up in the goddamn end up in the chamber somewhere. Yeah, like King David did when the woman challenged him. Oh, you out there just dancing. You done showed your private parts. Right? What did he do? He locked that bitch in a room. All right, since since you got a problem with me shaking my ass in front of these other women, you can stay your behind in here, and you ain't gonna have no babies, right? Because David had real power, right? He David wasn't just the man, right, in his house. David was the man in the world. He was out there in the world kicking real ass, man, winning wars and winning battles and surmounting land, right, surmounting kings. You see, he had real power. And what was she gonna say? No, don't lock me in here. Who was gonna tell David no? You see. So there's gonna be real power, man, and you gonna get in order. Trust me, you're gonna be all right, baby. You're gonna be you're gonna be all right. Trust me. You ain't even gonna be thinking about that. How many women a man got? You're gonna be just like in ancient times. What you see Abraham, right? When his wife Sarah wasn't able to conceive, what did she do? She gave her handmaid. You're gonna be looking for women to bring to your husband. That's how much power is gonna be endowed on these men, on us men. Lord will we're found in that number. You're gonna be all right, baby. Trust me and believe me. You're gonna be all right. What is this? Thought it was. Let me see. Let me go swim around right here. Yeah. This is First Corinthians 15:50. It says, "Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption, right? It says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. You see? And this is what we have with this. So our thinking is not going to be the same, man. It's not going to be this raggedy, this nigga with the gold teeth and the old ass dreads and tattoos on his face and his pants hanging off his ass with a pair of dirty Air Forces that you got to worry about. These are going to be real men. These are going to be men, right? That the Heavenly Father has risen to be lords of the earth, man. You ain't going to be worried about that shit, you know? Somebody said it. I think it was LD Yashawam, but he said, we're talking about living forever, and you worried about whether or not you're going to be the only woman. That's the short-sightedness of women. It's always been like this, right? The women being like this. What's that? First Timothy 5. I think it's 9. Yeah, listen to this, right? This is 1 Timothy 5 and 9. It says, let not a widow be taken into the number under 60 years old, having been the wife of one man, well reported of good works, if she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she have washed the saints' feet, if she have relieved the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work, right? So look, a woman wasn't even allowed in the church without these prerequisites, right? She had to be an older woman and had lived a life of service. That's what these scriptures are saying right here, right? So you have to have a certain level of selflessness, man. It can't be about you, right? It cannot be about you. It has to be about the bigger picture. It has to be about the body. It has to be about the nation. It has to be about the kingdom. It can't be about you, right? We're gonna populate this kingdom, man. We're gonna have thousands of children, man. It's gonna be a beautiful world, man. It's not gonna be no you worried about was Nuke and all them niggas. You ain't gonna be worried about them niggas, man. Treating you wrong. You gonna be all right. All the things that you could wish for in this kingdom. When you go in and you watch them YouTube videos, the hair tutorials, of how to sew your weave in, or the oh shit, or how to glue down the lace front. All that's gonna be natural. You're gonna have real hair, baby. You don't want to have real hair. you don't want to have children that live in safety and don't have to worry about being fucked by some freak. Excuse my language. I hope they don't cut my show off. People don't see these anyway, but your children are gonna be safe. You don't have to worry about bringing your kids to some stranger at school every day, right? You don't got to worry about debriefing your kids after you've brought them home from a day of school and they got all kinds of questions about what they're being taught, because they're going to be taught in righteousness. And matter of fact, as the scriptures say, you won't have to teach them because it's going to be in them. That's not beautiful to you. Just letting your kid go out and play on your property and not have to worry about the guy across the street or the guy cutting through the fence taking your kid. That's not something to look forward to. All you can think about is whether or not you're going to have or your man is going to have one girl. What about your kids? Right? What about when you want to just take a break? What about the times like listen, man, there's 4 kids over here. My wife, luckily my mom is here too, so she gets a break, right? But I watch her. You are tired. You don't want a break? Go send them over to my other kid's mother's house. Send them babies over there and just lay down and relax. You want to take a amethyst bath in the amethyst tub? You gonna be all right. Y'all gonna be all right, man. You're talking about nigga having One woman, man. Again, but that's the short-sightedness of the woman. But hopefully that was a bit edifying. I was being a little silly there, but again, hopefully it was edifying. As always, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and also honor and salutations to those of you who are of the hopeful elect. And with that, I say Shalom.